Welcome to the Friends of Zane Adams, aka FOZA Podcast, bringing awareness of postpartum depression, suicides, and the children who are left behind. We'll be spotlighting positive outcomes from mothers as well as healthcare experts and counselors. Would you know the signs of PPD? Would you know how to help a loved one? Stay tuned. As a community, we can do more to support maternal mental wellness.
Welcome, FAZA family, friends, and supporters. I'm Paulette Smith, and this is episode 55 of the FOZA Podcast for maternal mental wellness. Here, we shine a light on awareness to stop the stigma, the silence, the suicides, and the suffering that can accompany postpartum depression, and we strive to support the education of the children who are left behind. I'm really glad you're here with us. Now, this episode is entitled Moving Forward Without Having All the Answers. It's going to be a conversation on motherhood, uncertainty, and postpartum emotional wellness. If this is your first time joining us, please be sure to note that we'll keep you informed no matter your lifestyle, no matter your podcast preference, and our YouTube podcast is where you'll enjoy both audio and video content. Every podcast is extended on the FOZA blog with resources to help moms, medical people, birthing people, families, and caregivers traverse the journey of bringing new life into the world. Please subscribe to our channel and share the information. Let others know about FOZA because the advocacy will never end. As always, we want to ensure that this is a safe place. However, our discussions may touch on topics that can be triggering. If you're in crisis or need immediate support, please leave the podcast and call the Suicide and Crisis Lifeline at 988. And if you're not in an emergency situation, but you still need help, please speak with your doctor or a trusted professional. Whatever you do, don't give up. If you're still struggling to find support in your local area, visit us online at FOZAinc.org. That's FOZA Inc.org. For our FOZA Finder services, we'll support you in finding resources in your zip code, and you never are required to share sensitive information with us. In this episode, we're talking about motherhood and moving forward during postpartum period times without having all the answers. You've made plans and you've been waiting for many months and you feel ready, but sometimes things change. And especially around this time of year. This is the time of year transition for all of us. Just think about it. The season is changing, the time shifting, the landscape looks different, and in many ways, life can feel overwhelming. Sometimes things move forward before we feel ready. Sometimes there are moments when a woman finds herself stepping into something new, and she's still trying to understand what's changing within her. This can be especially true during the postpartum period. From outside, everything may look like it's moving forward just fine, and it may be, but sometimes internally she may be struggling to catch up. That's where active listening comes in. When life changes faster than we can process it, let's talk about that a little bit. For many women, especially new mothers, change doesn't always come with clarity. Even when she's made preparations and even when it's not her first child. Change can come with responsibilities. Change can come with expectations that weren't expected. And sometimes change can come with tension, where there was once peace. She may find herself moving through daily routines, responding to what's needed, but still trying to make sense of how she feels and the changes that are going on within her. There are moments when a woman shows up for everyone around her And quietly, inside, she's wondering where she fits into all of it. Now, the normal gestation period, as we know, may be approximately 9 months, but there are times when her role changes before her new identity has time to catch up. So what's been anticipated for months suddenly becomes very real in an instant. And the adjustment is no longer theoretical, it's live. That's when expectations, both internal and external, can arrive fully formed, just like that baby. So while her sense of self is still evolving, that's a little challenging sometimes. There may be moments when she responds out of responsibility rather than confidence. She may be navigating unfamiliar emotions inside while trying to meet very real everyday demands outside. This is what you may call the in-between space. This is where she's being stretched and stressed, but at the same time still becoming what the change is bringing. Who wouldn't feel a little disoriented with that? She may feel or be stigmatized to feel that she's being weak. And indeed, her physical strength may be challenged, but it's not a lack of physical strength or in care or character. Instead, it's often a reflection of how quickly life can shift. And that leaves little room to process what's going on inside of her. So for sure, that space, that in-between space, what's expected and what's felt, that space is where a lot of quiet uncertainty can live. And postpartum depression thrives on the uncertainty. And so that's the space we want to fill. And here's a few ways to fill that space. We want to allow the adjustment to her life to take time. Give her time, because not everything needs to make sense right away. And we don't want her to feel as if it does. We want to have her acknowledge what feels unfamiliar. See if we can get her to name the feeling, because naming the feeling is often the first step towards understanding the feeling. And we want her to stay connected, even in small ways. Even though she's getting rest, she's having trouble sleeping, she's having trouble eating. Unfortunately, this is when some moms pull away. But a conversation, a check-in, or a quiet moment with someone who cares can make all the difference. Now, let's talk a little bit about when the answers don't come. There are times when something just doesn't feel right and she can't put her finger on it and she doesn't have an answer. That can make her feel like something's wrong with her, not necessarily something that she can explain, just a quiet awareness that something feels different. She may feel disconnected or overwhelmed, or simply not like herself. And for some, these experiences may be a part of a regular postpartum emotional challenge, something that anyone and everyone could go through. But sometimes it's closing in on postpartum depression. Not everyone has the verbiage or the language to express what they're feeling in the moment they're feeling it. That's another reason that we advocate journaling. Journaling is very good at helping you express in your own words what you're feeling in the moment. But the part we need to be particularly aware of is that she may not even be able to recognize that she's going through some changes right away. We know this because we've spoken to professional counselors, moms, and medical people. Many of them hesitate when expressing emotions. They just know that something feels off. If they have more experience, they get to it quicker. But think of the non-medical or a non-professional mom and what she may be going through, just knowing that something is off and not being able to explain it. That's where listening comes in as well. When the answers don't come, that uncertainty can begin to make her doubt her own reality. That's the time when everyone around her should become active listeners. Everyone should encourage her to trust her feelings, even without clear answers, because a sense that something is off is worth paying attention to, even if it can't be explained clearly. Help her trust her language, even though her language may need some time to form. Clarity often follows awareness. Not having the right words immediately doesn't mean that her experience is invalid. So once she starts expressing herself, yes, just listen and you'll often find the answers in what she's trying to express. And we want to encourage her to reach out for support. Even if she can't fully explain what's wrong, once again, you can start a conversation by saying, don't worry about how you're saying it, just tell me how you feel. Because she might say something like, I'm not sure, but something just doesn't feel right. That can be a scary feeling, and we want her to feel safe and not afraid.
Thanks for listening to Friends of Zane Adams. FAZA is dedicated to supporting families impacted by postpartum depression. Your donation helps us keep this podcast going, fund scholarships, and connect birthing families to real life-changing resources. Every donation, big or small, brings us closer to a world where no mother or child faces this journey alone. Please visit our website, fozainc.org/donate, to make a donation or learn more about how you can help. Together, we're raising awareness, building support, and letting moms everywhere know they are not alone. Thanks again.
Welcome back to the podcast. Life moves very quickly, and sometimes, no matter what's going on, we have to move forward. We have to move forward in the moment. We want to help her understand that it's okay to accept and move forward. It doesn't mean that she has to have clarity on every step. Sometimes moving forward looks different in different situations to different people. Sometimes moving forward looks like just getting through the day and then looking back at the end of the day and being proud of yourself that you made it, and having an understanding that you can make it. Yes, you can. You can do it again and again. There may be other times when accepting change to what's in front of her means taking just one step without really knowing what the next step will look like, but knowing for sure that there's a solid support system and resources to keep her safe. And when moments come to a woman and they're challenging, but she continues to move forward, not because everything makes sense, but because stopping really doesn't feel like an option, that's when gentleness matters most. Taking the next step without pressure and allowing support to meet her where she is. And finally, moving forward doesn't always mean feeling better. That's hard to say, but sometimes it simply means choosing not to give up. That's when we all must work to help her feel safer. Watch her carefully. This is where support matters most. Because if she feels as if things are not going to get better, that can contribute to, lead to, and worsen many challenges in the postpartum period. She may be expected to keep going without support. But if the weight becomes heavier, that's heavier on her. It's up to us as a community to make her feel seen. Make sure she knows she's being heard. Make sure she knows she's supported. When those things happen, moving forward through change can become a positive, possible, and more peaceful reality. At FAZA, we understand when a mother is navigating through moments without support and changes are going on all around her, that's the time we step up as community, family, friends, medical caregivers, doulas. We all step up as a part of her team, and even organizations like FAZA and Postpartum Support International. We step up with services to find resources. So as we move forward to the end of this podcast episode and through a season of change, we'll send you a virtual hug and these thoughts to hold on to. You don't need all the answers to keep going, but you should never feel as if you have to do it alone. Never, ever alone. We invite you to visit the FOZA website, that's FOZAinc.org, for resources that will help you find care, comfort, and answers. Thanks again for joining us. In loving memory of Christina LaShawn Thompson Adams. Until next time, bye-bye.